Salam to Natain, I just telling we had cut off there, Beruku one in their name, Beruku one in their name, and we had cut off there on the last presentation where we were going on, what we were going over here, right? It says Precious Bundle, okay. We want to go down Miss Robin Roberts because this one is it's not real long, but she said something some very beautiful words here. Okay, so it says, basically right here it says, Roberts, right? Now, Roberts doctor. Now, check this out. Once again, they go Roberts because you have to understand the way when they're talking and when she's talking. See, I can understand the differences because I get really deep into words. So I understand the words and how they communicate with words and signs because they say words have power, and the English words they have a lot of power, especially in the court system. It's just like I want to get into ones with what do you think reggae? What does reggae mean to you? Now, reggae really it means the regency of the Ethiopian realm, 1909, right? Or the imperial dignity. I believe that's the way it's said, right? And we'll go into that in a little bit about that. You know what I'm saying? Because if one goes, say if you were in a courtroom, right? But see, because everything is serious. You know, that's one thing that's for sure. Everything is serious. Everything is serious. You understand? And only ones can be boastful in jobs that are serious in jobs. You know what I mean? But it says right here, Miss Roberts, Dr. Gail Robos said on the air this morning that it has not been an easy, right? Look it up, journey for the TV star, right? Now here we go. It says right here, it says there were very hard days, right, and a lot of unpleasantness. Robot said, adding that, let's see, the days ahead are important. She's got to get her hair back. It says she got to get her hair back, right? And something interesting, like I said, we're about to go into a deep presentation on this on basically leprosy and also it's very deep what I was about to get into, basically. What we're about to say here. It says she's got her hair back. Get her strength, right? She's got to get her strength back, basically rebuild in every sense. And Robots said Roberts will have to wear a mask and gloves to protect her, right? But we want to see, well, I want to get into what the rest of Miss Roberts has said, you know. Okay, now, funny thing is interesting because there was one that I had seen earlier that we're going to have to find, but it seems that they took it off of here and they did it on purpose, but it was the rest of Miss Roberts, with the rest of the article on her words. Now, this is another article explaining the type of cancer that she has, which is a good article, and I was going to get into that. Very important. She basically explains it, and this is a picture of our sister right here. You understand? And thank Jah. You understand that another one of our sister's brother got to keep their life, and I pray that she may be able to wake up out of the or that she's already awake, and hopefully, our sister will be able to come home. Now, interesting enough, all the way home, we understand home in the flesh, but all the way home in the spirit. Now, interesting enough, let's see if we can find the other presentation real fast, because there was another article basically that Miss Roberts had basically okay, when she had done. You understand? So we were gonna put in Robin. Right, here we go. Of course they do lowercase with. Now another interesting thing about Miss Robin Roberts is it makes you want to go look up Robin Hood. Especially as much as she talks about God, she talks about God, what they call God. Now, the funny thing is the same picture that he has is slightly different from the picture that I had of her. You understand? The one I had. So, Miss Robin Roberts, home from hospital, following Trump video, okay. But there's another, okay, hold on, let's see here. Go down a little bit. Because there was another one, okay, I think this one's it. Here we go. Now, look at this. This is something interesting because I really want to point this out. Okay, look how fast they work here. Now, you have this right here. It says news from Miss Robin Roberts. You understand? And it says Robin Roberts home from hospital following transplant video. Right? This is something else, right? Now what they had this morning is way down at the bottom of the page because we're gonna read that article and that one's this one is put together completely different than the other ones that they put ahead. Now, you understand they have pictures of here, Miss Roberts. You understand? But anyhow, let's go into this one right here. We want to go into this one. Trying to give it a little bit of time to pop up here. Okay. Now, on this one, here, alright, this is the one that I read this morning. This is a beautiful one. This is great, okay? It says GMA co-anchor Robin Roberts returns home, right, after bone marrow transplant. Each day, I get stronger and stronger. Well, let's go down a little bit. Man, this is beautiful. Okay, more clear picture of the sister. Glad our sister's home. Alright, now let's see. It says, right here, it says, good. There's something else she said. After exactly a month in the. Okay. See, because I think they didn't want you to read a lot of this. That's why they put that article right there, way down at the bottom. So we're gonna go over it. We're gonna go ahead and go. It says basically, good morning, America. Coast Robin Roberts returned right to her apartment late Wednesday. Right? Because notice this one was before the one where they just saying Roberts, because I prayed Jah, she probably see this and, so she be like, oh, okay, I see, you know what I mean? But just trying to show us some things. Good morning, America. Cole's Robin Roberts returned to her apartment late Wednesday, following a grueling month-long stay in the hospital for a bone marrow transplant, right? It says her homecoming was filmed for a video that aired on GMA in which she could be seen thanking, right, the doctors and nurses. She called them rock stars and singing. Amen. Look at that. Amen. And she called them what? Rock stars. I mean, what kind of subliminal, like rock, like Salah, sister, like Tur, like Salah. She called them rock stars, like the rock, the stars, like, I mean, there's so many subliminals, right? But those are good ones right there. Okay, it says, but we don't know what they're trying to use to say, but this sister's really, we know that she believes in God. She has a good heart for Jah. So we want to see how much, So it says Roberts. Okay, let me say Roberts get a little disrespectful. That's what they say. Miss Roberts also announced her good news on Twitter. All right, there's no place like home. After 30 days in the hospital, I'm home. Praise Jah, right? Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Thank you and bless you, right? Thank you and bless you. This is XO, and then followed it up with a lengthy blog post. Check that out. See, because they didn't put that in the other one we just read, the newer one, the latest one they put out. So okay, anyway, it goes here. It says after exactly 1 month in the hospital. Check this out. This is another one right here. Look, they didn't put this one in the other article we just read. Look at this. It says after exactly 1 month, right, which is 30 days, right, in the hospital, dreaming of this day. Look at that. I am finally home. She posted. My sisters, my itty, right now, Sally and Dorothy were here to help me make the transition. Now I told you how they want to play like the little. Now Sally and Dorothy, this is Miss Roberts speaking, but the Sally and Dorothy thing, we'll get into like the Dorothy thing because basically there's a way they have worded it together in this article. When kind of like Dorothy when she clicks her heels coming home, they didn't want to give the due credit to Jah or Yahweh Eloheinu, but see, Miss Roberts did that. She gave the credit to Yahweh or Jah. Now she said God because we're trying to get our people out of to say the direct names of their father or their Abba. You know what I mean? But for now, it's a joy to know. She's a Christian. I hope that she's going down towards the truth of the Christian path, right? So it says, Sister Sally and Dorothy were here to help me make the transition. I'll be adding that to the long list, right? of things for which I am grateful. Now, there's something interesting she says down here. She goes, along with the post, Miss Roberts included 2 photos. Okay, and there was one. In one, she can be seen in front of a Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center beaming with most her face hidden behind a surgical mask. Alright, now another thing is the hiding of the face, and there's another picture with His Majesty in the hat, but this is a beautiful picture right here, because look at this. She comes down like she looks directly at the sky, and that be like she knows Jah, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Aha, Beruku, El Reina Aya, He saved her. You know, she saved her. Even if they may not know what I'm saying, they understand. Alright? So it says, or get to understand. Try to. You know what I mean? And still be here so you can understand. Along with the post, she includes 2 photos, right? So in the second picture, the GMA host is curled up comfortably on her living room couch, right? Under a blanket and smiling as she looks out the window. Okay? As she looks out the window. Now we're going to go down a little bit. Okay, because that's her nurse, the black woman, right? I'm really not very fond of that picture too much, you know what I mean? But, you know, I hope they would have all the best intentions for the sister, right? So it goes, now her treatment for breast cancer last year, okay, according to the National Institute of Health, approximately 18,000 people develop the syndrome, right? Each year, with several hundred of those cases resulting from cancer treatments, right? Like chemotherapy, right? To receive the bone marrow donated by her sister Sally Ann, doctors use, right, chemotherapy, here we go, to destroy all of her diseased marrow, a treatment that also annihilated her immune system, okay, so she's immune to. Now that she's home, Ms. Roberts still can't rest easy. Appearing on GMA Thursday, her doctor, Gal Robers, and said Miss Roberts, okay, so they put Roberts again, faces. So Miss Roberts faces a long road to recovery. Now it was Yahweh Eloheinu, it was Jah who healed her and brought her out. You know, these Gentiles, remember like I told you, what they want to do to Emma. They want to try to get rid of Emma, and that's a beautiful picture of our sister there. But yeah, it goes. Similar to the one that I had, right? But a little different. That's why I say they do be watching these films and stuff like that, trying to see what's going on. So we got to keep going. So Miss Roberts is suffering from. Okay, we read that part. I think 1 billion people in America want to visit her. He said, right? Miss Roberts wrote that she is well aware of difficulties ahead. They basically put the she is well. You know, like the she, like you know, trying to watch. You should word things right. You know what I mean? We don't know what you're trying to say because y'all are so demoniac. You know what I mean? You might be trying to mix up her words and things like that. So here we go on the right here in the quotation. This doesn't mean that my journey is over. Far from it. I am considered 21 days old. Right? Okay. Now it says I am considered 21 days old. That's how long it has been since my transplant. Now, interesting thing is that they take out the rest of that. Each day I get stronger and stronger. I am fond of saying, this too shall pass, and even in some dark moments, right? Even in some dark moments, of which there are still a few, right? Check this out. Of which there are still a few. I now see that light. This is interesting because I didn't even read this earlier. At the end of the tunnel. This is interesting, right? This too really, right, shall pass, right? This too really shall pass. So let's keep going on here because these are her words, my people. These are her words she's saying. So she could be crying out for help because you got to remember some of our people are captive. So you have to remember, you have to pray. We have to pray for our brothers and sisters out there. You know what I mean? Now, see, in this, on this post, there was some more that she had said here. You understand? There was some more that she said on here, really, which I remember basically seeing it earlier. Now, they took out, check this out, they took out the rest of what she said. That's why it was so important for me to do this film. You understand? They took out the rest of, because she had said so much more that had basically left some clues for the righteous or for the caduce or the priestly to get. You understand? She said some more things that was basically taken out of this one. You understand? And they shortened it. And I'm telling you because they own it all day. So remember that while you sleeping and shit or sitting down or being careless, that they're in, they on the ball. So that means we gotta be on the ball. Everything that they do to an extension or a high degree, we must be on top of as well. So now I gotta go try to find this article, right? But on our sister that was similar just to this one and a whole lot that they took out. And something told me I knew I should have did it early. Now let's see here. See, because this is the one that I was actually in earlier. This is the funny thing. This is the one I was actually in earlier, right? But there was more that she had said that was in this article, and I know that. I know because I read the whole thing, right? It says, after exact 1 month, this day I'm finally home. She posted my sister Sally. Okay, I remember that part. Hold on. We just want to try to see if we can find this real quick because this is unbelievable. Actually, it is believable. Because she said something about her doctor that she had to thank the least. So I remember what she said. And she thanked the most Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Ha Beruku. She thanked Jah. She thanked who they call God, right? The most, right? But they took out a whole lot right here. After transplant right here, they took out a whole lot. Because if you remember on the other article, there was even more in there. You understand? But see, they took all that out. All that what she said out. So I hope she knows that. You understand? She probably is aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Each day I get stronger. But I've been praying for the sister. But earlier, before I had prayed, that article was still there. So like I said, they working, and we working too. You know what I mean? But let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Maybe we might be able to find that somewhere. Because, it really was kind of very important to I and I. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see. Maybe this one is it. Right? Because they have a few articles. Right? But they put the ones at the top to lead you to the most bullshit, because she really said some real stuff. I mean, some real touching things. You know what I mean? Basically about God, and the other parts about the light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't even see that. They might have even had it rewritten or something like that, because there was something quite different on there from earlier this morning, or yesterday morning. For the Gentiles, say, the mixed up Gentile, the chaotic will say this morning, right? That day hasn't changed yet. It doesn't change with the evening. That day changes with the clock. They based on like robots, basically. But let's see here. It said okay, going to beat this ABC News, Robert's Twitter. Let's see. I don't think this one is it either. But anyway, they shortened that article, and I see why they did. But she did say I had at least to thank my doctor. You got to be careful, because you remember what happened with Michael Jackson, right? So we watching, sister. We watching Iti. We watching Ihati. Baruch and Jah, and blessed be you. Blessed be you. You understand? We're watching. Because there's a lot going on now. It's time for the real Rastafari, the real Hebrews, the real people of the ET to stand up for their rights, to stand up for who they are. Stop playing games, because everything is a joke. And it's sad that some of us have to come to certain experiences in order to wake up from this deep sleep that we've been in. And we start to realize a lot of things, Right. There were very sad things that, but yeah, it's just interesting, right? How they basically took out so much, because like I say, in one article, and they're slick, so they do things like this, because this wasn't the first one up about her. The one they had this morning was it was actually this one unaltered. It was this one unaltered. But see, look how far down at the bottom of it is. This one this morning was at the top. See, but then they altered it. You see that? See how they altered? They basically altered it. Right? So we'll try, let's see if we can try one of these again and see what it'll give us. And see what maybe we can pull up. But she said something real, very, very important thing. But while that's doing that, what we're going to do is let's go and look up something. We want to go look up the word black. Okay? Because some brought us to the word, some said go look up the word black. And when does it first appear in the scripture or in the Bible? You understand the word black? Okay? Which is very important. You might be like, that don't mean really. Well, we're going to find out what it means. You understand? What does the word black mean? And where does it appear? And why does it say what it says when it appears? Now, I already got into it. Also, there's something else interesting about the word black that we're also going to go and look up. Or that we would also like to get into as well. About the word. This word right here and this verse. You understand? This word right here and this verse. And basically it says, and if the priest, right? If the priest look on the plague of the skull. Check this out. It says of the skull. Let's go see what a skull is. Right? A scab in the head or beard. Now the interesting thing is, what color is a scab? You understand? The scab is really, right? The scab is really in the way, right? Now look at this. It says one suffering. It says a skull scab in the head or head. One suffering from a skull, right? Being scald, right? Because remember what happened to the slaves were scald. The slaves were scald, right? They were basically, yes, because they were beat with whips and they were scald. They were scald, right? Into, and what it says here, scab, skin, eruption, skull, right? Because they were beat into submission, right? Or what they would call submission. They were scald by it. Yes, they were scarred by it. Basically scarred. You know what I'm saying? So, see, or what do they say? War wounds, but not even, that's not even the one I want to use for that. Root, to pluck out, what it says right here, look, it says hairs. Check it out. To pluck out hairs. Now, what we want to do is that's just enough evidence for what we're about to say right here. I mean, now it says right here, it says, right? It says, and the priest looked on the plague. Now, this is the first place the Bible has mentioned this. It's in 1331. Now, the interesting thing is that if you go look up the year 1331 BC, because we haven't looked up AD yet, something interesting is going to take you to, at the root of it, is basically the Gregorian Julian calendar. And when the Gregorian calendar came in the era in which it eliminated the Julian calendar. Now, the Julian calendar is the Eastern calendar. It's the first calendar they used. The Gregorian calendar is the Western calendar, right? Now, or the more newer calendar that came in around what they say, right? The interesting thing is around the end of what they call the Carthaginian Wars, or the end of the Punic War, because there's something about this year that would take you to that, and the study of the whole Carthaginian system, and they have really something against the name Barca, or Baraka, or Barak. You know, they really have things against these names, these type of names. Now, one try to say the name Barak means Antichrist, but no, it doesn't. The Hebrew actually means lightning. And to be honest with you, the name Barak really symbolizes a miracle out of the Eti, or the Eti, or the Etia. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a sparkle, it's part of the God particle. You understand that? And you'll get a clear glimpse of that when you look into other dictionaries and other grammars and other names. But anyhow, to go deeper into it, we will. You understand? We will seek to do that. But right now, we want to explain one thing so we don't really get people confused, because there's so much to this. Right now, this says, and the priest look on the plague, right? Look on the plague, right? Of the skull, right? Of the skull, right? Now, basically, what was the skull again? About the hair, basically to pull the hairs out. something like that, to pull the hairs out. Skull, scab, head, or beard, basically to pluck out hairs, right? To pluck out hairs. Now, that's as far as we dwelled into. Remember, to pluck out hairs. So we have and, right? And it be, right? Or it be not in sight, like almost like a bee, like carpenter bee, not in sight, like, because if you notice when the scripture uses behold or hold on, be, is referring to us. We are the bees, right? The Ethiopians, the bees, the Ethiop, the true Ethiopian, the Ethiopian. Hold on, bees, or my bees, right? From the wasps. But if you know anything about that, that's getting into more Egyptology. Now it says, it be not in sight, right? Deeper than the skin. Check this out. Than the skin. So now we're speaking about the skin. Now check this out. This is straight up. It says, and that there is no black, right? And that there is no black, right? It says that no black, right? Hair. Check it out. Remember that we were just going over what it was saying just a moment ago about, what we were going over just a minute ago, what it was saying about plucking out hairs. Plucking out hairs. So it says, right? And if there be basically no black hair in it, then, right, it says the priest shall shut right, up him that, now in parentheses says him that hath the plague. But it really says the priest shall shut up plague. It's basically a plague, right? If there is no black hairs. Now in this type of leprosy it's talking about. This type of leprosy, right? Which more is a mental, right? And now it says then, right, the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague of the skull, right? It says 7 days. So that means that one can be healed from this type of plague, right? This type of plague. Now the interesting thing about it is it says that basically, and that there's no black. If there's no black, right? Referring to the skin or the hairs in the skin. Now remember that skull means to pluck out hairs. Now, obviously this is referring to, when you go look up the word hair, right? Say we go look up the word hair in the dictionary, right? There's something interesting about the word hair, and we look it up in the dictionary. You understand? Very important to know the words behind things, because words reveal what something is saying. So if you're not looking at the words, you're just being a fool. You know what I mean? You're just following your own heart, which is deceit. You understand? So let's look up definition. Alright? We're going to look up definition. Basically, that's what we want right there. Okay. Now let's go to the Mardium. Now somebody had said something about the Mardium dictionary. Unfortunately, someone said that unfortunately he's not the Messiah or something. But we don't want to talk about certain individuals. But if certain individuals get out of line, that embarrassment is coming. You know what I mean? So be very careful. Make sure that you know what you're speaking is the truth. If you're going up against the truth, you want to verse the truth, and you're faulty. Right? Now here we go right here. We want to put in hair, basically. Okay? Hair. Okay.